Welcome back, everyone. And in this episode of What Are We Freeze Drying Today, we have ginger and yakima, otherwise known as Mexican potato. We have a Misfits box that comes in about once a week, and so a lot of the product we can use, some of it we have no idea what to do with, and the yakima is one of it. Maybe we'll need to use it in the future. Who knows? Either way, here we are. I am prepping, ready to unload a batch. And the best thing to do is to make sure all of your equipment is ready. Make sure your oxygen absorbers are there, your vacuum sealer. Shut off the cycle, finish it off, and then drain it. Here I am doing a little shake on the tube. Make sure there is no water in the tube as we go to drain it out. And that is a thing of beauty. Completed batch of product. I like to touch a lot of the product, make sure that it's actually truly dry, even snapping some stuff off, because you never know. The outside may be completely dry, but you got to test the center. So I like to look for the biggest chunks and try to snap a few off, because quite simply, you can't risk it in a emergency situation where you cannot eat your food because now it's gone completely rancid because you had too much water in it. Now what I like to do is to put my trays on top and begin the defrost cycle immediately. The reason why is I run this machine incredibly hard. There is not much time between defrost and the next cycle, and that's designed that way because quite simply it's a small. It can't do too much. Now what I'm doing right here is prepping my bags. One of the things that I always tell people is do not open your oxygen absorbers until the last minute, until you absolutely have no choice to. Now, in the process of me bagging this, I tasted it before and after I had freeze dried the yakima, and I'm going to tell you right now. Before, lightly sweet, nice potato, kind of hard, and then after it, identical to styrofoam board. Absolutely horrifically disgusting. Here I am packaging the ginger, and for an unknown reason, we got a tremendous amount in our weekly Misfits box, but it's good, but it's just a lot of it, so might as well preserve it for later. Like I tell people all the time, open your oxygen absorbers at the last possible moment, and the reason why is this. That is just iron shavings. Iron shavings react with the oxygen in the environment, and it absorbs all the oxygen as well. Now, it also generates heat and then creates rust. But the thing is this, it has a finite life. So as soon as I am done, I reseal the oxygen absorbers in the vacuum pack machine and put them away as quickly as possible. Now, I'm sorry, my GoPro is a weird angle. I'm just getting used to the headgear. But what we're watching right now is the finishing of a batch of the yakima, and what I like to do is to purposely see how much weight there is in the bag, make sure that there's not any kind of a problem, and then put it aside. Now, putting aside is not just because I'm waiting for it to finish for the other stuff, but I'm waiting to see if there's a leak in the bag. Now, these are Mylar bags, and some product is sharp, puncturing the side. So I like to take the product, put it aside, and wait for any air leaks. And being that there's 30 pounds of air in the atmosphere and there's a vacuum in that bag, basically what's going to happen is you're going to see real gosh darn quick if there's a puncture, even minute. Now here we are on our last bag of Yamaka, and basically just make sure that it's all set, make sure there's no damage, make sure it's nice and light, because it's basically uncooked Mexican potato. Now that being said, now we go on to the maintenance. Now, a lot of people ask, how long does it take to maintenance this oil system that you've created? It doesn't take long, but the longevity of the oil and the fact that I do not have to change it every 5 to 10 times, and in fact that it has lasted nearly 50 batches. I believe this is batch number 48. makes it all worth it. Now, if you're looking right there, the water is coming out of the fuel water separator, which of course is oil, but I also let go of the reed valve that's up above to relieve the system of some of the pressure so some of the water can then flow out more freely. Now, I had used a mandolin to slice the yarmulke, so there was not much of water to begin with, and if you ever had it, it's not that watery. So seal it off, wipe it down, crank it down, we're all good to go. Now, a lot of people ask, how long does this take? This is about 10, 15, 20 minutes every 3 to 4 days, depending on the batch and the type of food. But keeping in mind is that this food is going to last for years. So if you've got 15, 20, 30 minutes every 3 to 4 days, you'll have a ready made food supply in the event that something goes wrong. Now, if you take a look at that jar is a combination of oil and water, of course, and water at the bottom. That is about 2 batches. So water does enter in your oil lines. And so you have to have an extraction method. Now, luckily, I built my own self-contained oil recycling and filtration system. But keep in mind, if you don't, please change your oil frequently.